Hey everyone, it's Brandon here with Front Page Pop, bringing you all the latest in celebrity news and reality TV. Today we are going to be talking about all things fashion related to the 97th Annual Academy Awards, aka the Oscars. And I have none other than fashion influencer and style critic with me, Zabron Kabani. Hi, Zabron.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Thanks for joining us. I know you did for the Met Gala last year, so I'm glad to have you back.
I'm happy to be back. I can't believe it's that time of year again where it's the Oscars.
I know it came so quick.
It really did. I can't believe award season's kind of over at this point.
Yes, it's very sad. I feel like it's gone by really fast this year, for
It really
sure.
has.
All right, well, let's jump right in. We can talk about some trends for the night. I will let you kick off. What kind of trends did you see on the red carpet? What were your favorites and least favorite trends?
Yeah, on the carpet there was I thought there was a lot of classics, a lot of black and whites, a lot of gold and shimmer is what I saw. Especially in
Hmm.
the women's category, there was just so much of that like effortless, like almost I like to call it chicness, but like on another level. It was just like a lot of those really put together. You know, it was I felt like it was all about the classics this year. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. I did see some outlets reporting that pops of color were a trend, but I feel like it really wasn't. It was just like a few select people, which of course there's always going to be. Like not everyone is going to wear black and white, but there were definitely there was a lot of shimmer on the carpet for sure. A lot of that kind of like muted nudes, whites, blacks, very like neutral tones. I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, there was a ton of that. I felt like,
Mhm.
yeah, there was just a ton of that kind of all sprinkled in.
Let's jump in to talk about some of the stars from the red carpet. So we'll kind of go through a few. Unfortunately, we can't talk about everyone, but we'll talk about some highlights and then we'll kind of finish off by talking about our best and worst dressed of the night.
Perfect.
So let's first start off with a big one that drew a lot of conversation online. What did you think of Timothy Chalamet's look in his pale yellow suit or pastel yellow suit?
It's one of my best dress. I thought he looked so good. Such a big departure from last award season. I know he wore a lot of Dior last season, and it was really all over the board, which is great. The yellow really was a great ending for his award season for this year, and I thought it was great.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. I loved it. It's such a big risk. I feel like to wear such a bright, like neon. I mean, it was kind of more pastel, but it was still like really bright color.
Yeah,
And, to be honest, I hate yellow, pretty much yellow anything.
I do too.
So,
I could never wear that, but I mean, it
yeah.
looked great on him.
Yeah, he looked really good in it. And it was a nice contrast. I know she didn't walk the carpet, but Kylie was wearing, all black. She had, of course, had some shimmer and jewels and everything like that on her as well. But it was a nice contrast between the two.
I agree. And even on the red carpet, it made him pop even more just because of that
Hmm.
yellow. So I thought he looked great. I also wanted to add that I love the fact that his jacket was a little bit shorter.
Hmm.
I've been really appreciating how a lot of menswear designers, actors are doing that, and it looks so, so good.
Yeah, I agree. I think we'll kind of get into this later with some other men's looks, but I've seen a lot this award show season with either like really fitted and like a little bit shorter like that, which I prefer. But there's also been a lot of oversized that
Hmm.
I haven't loved because it doesn't look oversized to me. It looks like it doesn't fit.
Yeah, totally.
So yeah, I like that it was fitted well and shorter on him for sure.
I know like the oversized trend is what's going on right now, whether if it's,
Hmm.
women's wear, men's wear, even if it's casual. If it's done well, then I think it's fine. But a lot of it just looks like oversized suits or like it almost feels like people are wearing their dad's clothes, and it just like
Yeah,
looks not good.
yeah. They're like, oh, I didn't have time to go get it hemmed or whatever tailored.
Absolutely.
All right. So, what did you think about Demi Moore? It was a big night for her. She has been crushing it all award show season, with her looks and with the awards. What did you think of her look?
I thought she looked great. Brad Goreski is her stylist, and he has been knocking it one
Amazing.
by one out of the park. I thought she looked great. I wish she would have won, and it would have been such a nice bow for her award season. But I thought she looked great. It was gorgeous.
Yeah. I think it was my least favorite of her looks this award show season, but she still looks amazing. I really loved her. I think it was the SAG Awards um, look, but I've loved all of hers. Brad is amazing and done amazing stuff
Oh,
with her.
he
Yeah.
did such a great job.
All right. Another big star on the red carpet was Halle Berry. She's one who really took that shimmery trend to the next level.
She definitely
What did
did.
you think of her?
I thought she looked great. It's like she's
Amazing.
aging backwards, and I know we always say that, but she really is aging backwards.
Yeah.
A lot of the stars went to the Vanity Fair after party, the after Oscars party, and I thought even that dress was amazing. And she just looked amazing. Her skin looked so good too.
Yeah. She looked amazing. It was so good. It was almost effortless too, but not at the same time. So it just gave it that extra like elegance to it, I think.
Yeah, no, she looked great.
All right. A younger star is Rachel Ziegler. What did you think about her on the red carpet?
I feel like this season it's not her best. I thought it was okay. I thought it was a little safe.
Mhm.
It didn't really catch my eye, like it normally would have, but it was fine. It was pretty safe in my opinion.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite. It almost looked like the top didn't fit. The top
Right.
half didn't fit correctly. Um, yeah, it just wasn't my favorite.
It seemed like she was at the tailor, and then the tailor didn't finish, and she kind of just wore it
Yeah,
out, and that's really what she wore.
yeah, exactly. I don't think it was like the best dress, at least the top half for her body frame.
I
So it
agree.
wasn't my favorite. All right, next is Edvin Writing. What did you think of his look?
Oh, the one with like the bow, kind of looked like a sash almost.
Hmm.
I thought his look was pretty interesting. I thought it was pretty cool. I liked the color. I thought it was something totally different.
Hmm.
Um, I'm not sure if his hair color is my favorite, but
Yeah.
overall I thought it was pretty interesting for menswear. What were your thoughts?
Yeah, for sure. I think, I give him credit for trying to do something different. I did like it.
Yeah,
I wasn't like obsessed with it or anything, but I thought it looked good. It was fun. Kind of matched his persona of his role and, as a royal on the Netflix series that he stars in. So I thought that was kind of nice. He transferred that over to the red carpet.
yeah, for sure.
Okay, next is Coco Jones. What did you think of her look?
I believe she was wearing Coach. It was like custom Coach, I believe.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I thought it was pretty safe.
Mm,
I want to say this was her first Oscars, is from what she
I,
was saying.
I would think
I thought,
so.
yeah, I thought it was pretty good for her first one. It was fun.
Yeah, I agree. Not great, not bad. Probably not grand enough for the Oscars.
Right. Totally.
Maybe for the Vanity Fair party, it would have been perfect.
Yeah.
But she still looks good. All right, next is a big winner of the night, Kieran Culkin. He's been crushing it all award show season, not necessarily on the red carpet, but on the award show stage. What did you think of his look?
I thought he looked great. I loved the color on him. I thought it really stood out from your typical black.
Mhm.
My only like minor little detail was I wish it was a little bit more tailored and kind of fit his body a little bit better.
Yeah, I agree. Nothing spectacular. It was just kind of, you know, a nice suit. Maybe could have been tailored better.
Yeah.
But not too much to say on that one. What about Omar Apollo? He took it to the next level, I think, for menswear. He looked awesome.
Yeah, I thought it was very, very cool. I thought it was, out of the box. I believe he was wearing Valentino, and it was just the future, is how I just like to describe it. I thought it was very cool and very different.
It was very cool. Yeah, it was very modern. I
Yeah,
liked instead of a tie, he kind of had that, scarf. I'm sure there's like some official term for it that I don't know, but
right.
he had that on. It looked really good.
And I know he was wearing Valentino, and Valentino did that a lot with this new runway and this like whole
Okay.
new they're having. So I thought it was very cool.
Yeah, he was a standout for sure for menswear. All right, next up is her, Her. What did you
Um,
think of her look?
I thought it was, it was kind of boring in my opinion. She normally like does very well at these types of
Hmm.
events. I thought it was just very, it was kind of fell flat for me. What about you?
Yeah, me too. I think it could have been good. It had potential for sure. I
Mhm.
hated the belt. It looked like a wrestling champion's like WWE belt
Yeah,
that they added on to like make it unique or something, but it really didn't hit in the photos. Maybe in person it would look a little bit different, but especially for
yeah,
the photos, it like you said, it fell flat.
it really did. Yeah.
Next up is one of the biggest stars of the night. Everyone was highly anticipating her performance on stage from Wicked, and that is Cynthia Erivo. What did you think of her look?
It was so good. It was made by Louis Vuitton, and I know she had four different outfit changes throughout the whole night, and this one was by far my favorite. I thought it was so, so good, and the nails were everything. I thought she looked great.
Yes, she always brings it with the nails,
Yeah,
as
nails on
always.
stage. She needs like an Instagram account just for her own nails.
Yeah, she really does. I thought it was really good. I liked it. It's one of my favorite looks of the night, but it almost like just a hair or nail length. It almost crossed into costume for me
Hmm.
versus fashion or high fashion. So that is probably why she wouldn't make my best dress. But I thought she looked amazing still, and it really captured the Elphaba and the Wicked and
Totally. Yeah,
all that kind of vibe.
for sure. Totally agree.
Next up is her co-star Ariana Grande. She's one that had a lot of fans split on social media. I know
Mhm.
we talked about that briefly before this, but what did you think?
I personally loved it. It was
Hmm.
Schiaparelli, and I thought it was so. I mean, how does she top, the Oscars red carpet with the award season that she was having? I thought she looked great every award show this year. So I thought the Schiaparelli look was great. I personally loved it. It's one of my best dress. I know a lot of my followers did not like it so much. What did you think?
I loved it. I thought it was one of the best dressed, if not the best dressed of the night.
So good.
Um, I have not actually liked her looks this award show season at all. I think she looks
Oh,
washed out every time,
okay.
but this one had a little bit more of a nude than blush, I think.
Hmm.
Um, that matched a little bit better with her skin tone than some of her other looks. So I think it complemented her a lot better, and that's why I liked it. And of course, it was like fun, so it kind of had that like Glinda, Wicked essence to it. A lot of
Definitely.
that magic. I thought it was
And
a really good look.
yeah, and her performance look with the red
Oh, that was
shoes,
amazing.
that was so good. So, so
Hmm.
good.
Yeah, I'm glad she saved that for the stage, but I did love that as well.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like another big trend this award show season has been almost like these, not specifically peplum, but like peplum tops and peplum shapes with
Hmm.
dresses, and we kind of see that a little bit mimicked in her look. What do you think about that overall as a trend coming back?
I just it reminds me it's nostalgia for me personally. I just remember growing up and that's what all the girls, all my friends used to wear. So I think it's really cool that it's like back and we're doing it again. I ship it. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. I think it just depends on the person's body and how they style it and things like that. Like, like everything, of course, but
Right. It all comes
I
back
don't
every
mind
20.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Another star was Emma Stone. What did you think of her? Of course, she debuted her short hairstyle earlier this award show season. What did you think of her look?
I loved it. She had on Louis Vuitton and the hair. I love. She's the only person in Hollywood that can do this hair, and it looked so good on her. Like the whole look looked so good,
Hmm.
and I thought she looked great.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I wasn't a fan of some of her other hairstylings with her short hair from the award show season so far, but I think this was the best. As far as hairstyling and probably overall look that she's had this award show season, I liked it.
I agree. She just looked great, and I saw like video of it later, and you could just see how the dress was almost. it was like in the light, it was sparkling almost like right back
Hmm.
at you. It was very cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. I can't imagine how some dresses like that are on the red carpet with all the cameras flashing. Like, for the
Yeah.
most part, we just see it, in a still image. Sometimes we get videos, but I'm sure there it's like, wow.
No.
Next up is Anak, and I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but Anak Yai. I'm sure I butchered her name, but okay. What did you think of her look?
I thought it was good. Again, I thought it was a little safe, in my
Hmm.
opinion. It was good. It wasn't one
Yeah.
of my favorites, but it wasn't bad either. What about you?
Yeah. I mean, she'll never look bad. She's, a flawless human being.
Hmm.
She's a supermodel for a reason. I
Yeah,
didn't like the dress so much, but I loved her hair and makeup. And I like that she added the boa. I think that
yes,
did save it from being like, a terrible look overall.
right.
But yeah, like you, it was just fine. Back to the men. What did you think of Jeff Goldblum's look?
I loved it. I love a white blazer, and it was double breasted. It was Valentino. I thought it was great. I felt like maybe he put on too many accessories. Maybe he could have taken
Mhm.
off all the accessories, but I thought the white looked very good, especially for the red carpet.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It looked like he had one too many things on, but it did look good. It was fun. He was coming to represent the cast of Wicked along with everyone else. So I think he kind of embodied that, vibe that everyone else was going for. And I like that he is an older man who, was
Just went for
having
that.
some fun and not just wearing like a tux.
Yeah, I thought it was very age appropriate for him.
Yeah, for sure. What did you think of Callum Harper?
I believe it was YSL. It was so, so good. I thought it was really different. For some reason, if you had told me that he was wearing this color, I would have been like, it would have washed him out and washed out on the carpet. But I thought it looked very good. It was very tailored. It was YSL and it looked great.
I agree. I thought he looked good. Again, the oversized jacket bothers me.
Yeah.
um, but I do think because he has such a small frame and he's
Hmm.
very, very thin, I think it works in a
Yeah.
fashion way. And just like the way he posed with it, his attitude with it, I think it worked. I do agree it had huge potential to wash him out. So I'm kind of surprised it didn't, but
Hmm.
it looked good. Next up is Elle Fanning. What did you think of her?
I was so disappointed because at the SAG Awards, I thought she looked great.
Hmm.
And this time around, I thought it wasn't bad. It was just like not one of my favorites. I thought it was pretty safe. In a lot of, I looked at multiple like photos of her from different angles, and I thought it just made her look older than she is.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
she's so young, so I just was really, it wasn't one of my favorites. What about you?
Yeah, I agree. I think normally she gives us such, angelic, kind of like fairy, young, fresh looks.
Yeah.
I mean, that matches her overall look and vibe, so it kind of works. This looks like she kind of like bought a plain, like cheap wedding dress off the rack and like tied a silk, black ribbon around it.
Mhm.
Um, it definitely wasn't my favorite.
Yeah, it looked very like 2007 bridesmaid dress. That's what it reminded
Hmm.
me
Exactly. Yes, exactly. What did you think of Whoopi Goldberg and her look? She had this metallic blue, lots of volume. What did you think of that?
I was watching the E's red carpet, like the pre-show, and
Hmm.
I remember Xana was talking about how it was like liquid water, and I thought that was such a cool take on it until I saw it, and I thought it looked like a Halloween costume, and like not in a good way.
Yeah, it did not look good. I think it might have worked on someone else and like might have been fun if, someone like younger and fun and like good energy had
Yeah,
worn it, maybe like Elle Fanning or Ariana Grande or, someone
yeah,
else.
yeah,
It just didn't work with her. It felt like they put her in something she, you know, didn't even want to be in and that didn't fit
right.
her.
Yeah,
It just didn't even feel like comfortable seeing her in it.
hmm, yeah.
Yeah, it was not my favorite of the night at all.
Same.
But what did you think of the singer Ray?
I thought she looked great. For a second, I thought it was Amy Winehouse from like first instinct, and
Yeah.
even when she performed at the Oscars, I she sounded like Amy Winehouse. So it really threw
Mhm.
me for a loop there. I thought she looked great. I feel I want to say she is a lot taller than she looks in photos, and like I would love to see her in person because I thought she looked great.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
she gets that Amy Winehouse
right?
comparison
Doesn't
a
she?
lot on social media. So,
Uh,
yeah, she does for sure. I thought she looked good. I don't think it was like over the top or anything,
yeah,
super duper amazing, but she looked good.
I agree.
Moving on to another singer and rapper, what did you think of Doja Cat?
I was so disappointed because I thought her performance look was great with all the crystals.
Hmm.
I know her stylist Brett has worked with her. He works with Tate McRae. He works with a lot of celebrities right now, and I don't think it was the dress because she wore Balmain. I think it was just the hair and the makeup that really wasn't on par with the dress.
100% agree. Yeah. The only thing I had with the dress was that I think the slit was too low and not like in a revealing way, but it just didn't seem to like balance with the rest
Yeah.
of the neckline,
Mhm.
in my opinion. But it was 100% the hair. It was kind of giving grandma,
Yeah.
like it was giving retirement home.
Yeah, and not like in a chic way at all. It was
Yeah,
very, yeah.
it actually reminded me of something like Halle Berry maybe would have worn, like
Mhm.
with the in the animal print, like back in the '90s, maybe like a I don't know Catwoman type of like vibe.
Yeah, for sure.
But it didn't give off
No,
the
not
same
at all.
result. All right, what did you think of Lisa on the red carpet?
I thought she killed it. I thought she looked so good. It was, she changed like multiple times throughout the night. I know she performed
Hmm.
with Doja Cat. I thought she looked great, and I know this was her first Oscars, and I thought it was great.
Yeah, I liked it a lot too. It did stand out. Sometimes women are like, "Oh, let me be different and like wear a suit," and it's like, "Okay, we get it. Like people have done this forever. Like it's not a big deal. We don't
Right.
care." But
Yeah.
she kind of made it unique when it like the jacket and maybe even the shirt, unless the jacket was lined, but it went like all the way to the floor, so it was almost like a suit dress with like this cape. It looked really good.
It looked so, so good. Yeah.
Hmm. And the rose accent on her chest was the perfect balance, I think, to help it from not being
Yeah.
boring.
I loved all the brooches on
Hmm.
like women and men. I thought it's been a great accessory throughout this award season.
What did you think of Andrew Garfield's look? He wore a nice brown suit.
But it was great. I He's been doing these like monochromatic looks lately, and I think they're
Mhm.
great. They fit him well. He looks good in it, and I feel like he knows he looks good in it. So I like it. I thought he looked very well. I thought it was very dapper. It was something that we haven't seen in a while, just because we are seeing the
Mhm.
oversized so much. So I thought he looked great.
Yeah, I agree. It kind of reminded me of like a little 70s vibe, a little bit modern interpretation. And I liked that the jacket was a little bit longer, but it didn't come off as like oversized.
Right.
And
It
he's,
was a
very tall and thin, so it
Yeah.
worked.
It just fit him very well.
Hmm. Yeah. And it kind of matched his like attitude and swagger, I feel like a lot.
Yeah.
So it just worked as a whole.
Yeah, definitely.
Moving on, what did you think of Selena Gomez?
She looked incredible. I thought she looked so, so good.
Hmm.
She's another one that's been really killing it for me this season. I thought she
Yeah.
looked great. Her Vanity Fair Oscar party look was that black sequence dress, and even that was great. So I thought she looked great. This new era of hers is, I'm very into it.
Yeah. I actually liked her Oscar party or her Vanity Fair Oscar party dress a little bit better, but I
I
did
did too.
like this look, although I think it was kind of hard for her to top her SAG Awards dress. I think that
Yeah.
was my favorite.
She
I
should have flipped her SAG dress and her Oscar dress.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, but she did win her SAG award in that dress,
Yes.
so you know it kind of
Yeah.
worked.
I really think, do they know if they're going to win or not?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to our last few. What did you think of Miley Cyrus's look?
I thought she looked great. The
Hmm.
eyebrows, it's a very controversial topic. I thought the eyebrows made the look. She added bangs to the after party, and I thought that looked great. But Miley Cyrus is Miley Cyrus, and she's the only person that can pull it off. I thought it was very cool. It's very edgy. It's very Miley.
Hmm. I didn't hate it overall. I didn't mind the brows, but the hair was off for me.
Mhm.
It, I think the part was weird.
Yeah.
And that's what like threw the whole thing off for me.
I think it's so funny because last year when she performed at the Grammys and she won for Flowers, her hair was
Mhm.
so big and so 70s. And it's like every time we see her since then, her hair is becoming like less poofier and like it's becoming more
Yep.
flatter every time. So I think it's just funny that that's where we are. That's what her hair looks like now. So
Yeah. I love the gloves.
yeah, the
I think that
gloves.
was a great moment.
Yeah, lots of gloves this season.
All right, last but not least is Coleman Domingo. What did you think of his look?
I loved it. He always looks good. Even on a bad
Hmm.
day, I feel like he would look good. I thought it was great. I thought it was very like tailored and very him. He's the only person that could wear things like this, and it's great. He like knocks it out every time.
Yeah, he did look really good. I think this is one of those that publications talked about that pop of color trend.
Mhm.
I think they're probably thinking of him in particular. He definitely rocked that red. Looked really good.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought so too.
All right, moving on. Before we get into our best and worst dress, was there anyone else you wanted to talk about?
Let's see. I feel like we've covered all the big ones, really, all the ones that
Mhm.
that we like, heard about.
Okay. All right. Let's start with worst dressed. Who did you think was the one or two worst dressed of the night?
My worst is going to be Elle Fanning and Whoopi Goldberg. I love both of
Okay.
them, but I just thought it was not. Both of them should have switched their dresses. How's that? That's what they should have
Oh,
done
yep. There you
because
go.
it just like it really aged her, and I get it, but then I also am like, come on, we could be a little bit fun and flirty. And with
Mhm.
Whoopi, I just thought she typically wears like men's suiting or she'll wear a lot of black and white. So I thought it was a great like departure to color and just something different. It
Yeah.
just I think the delivery just wasn't well.
Yeah. I agree. My worst dress is 100% Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
It almost reminded me of Ursula. I don't know why.
Oh my gosh, I could totally see that.
It was just like big and like just all the layers. I imagined like tentacles coming out and like under the sea vibes. And I don't know.
I could totally
It
see
was
that.
not my favorite. So you share all the looks on your Instagram page. People can go follow you. I'll throw your username up right here. But um, you have a very engaged audience too. What did they think of the looks? Who was their worst dressed of the night, do you think?
It was definitely Elle Fanning for sure.
Okay.
I got a lot of questions about Ariana Grande's outfit. For some reason, it did not translate to a lot of people. And it was between the mix of both of those.
Okay. Interesting. I feel
Yeah.
like Ariana's was very hit or miss, just all over social media, really. Like love
Mhm.
or hate, not much in between. So
I
that's
thought
interesting.
I know she's like 5'1" or five. She's very short in like real life.
Hmm.
I thought the dress gave her height. I don't know how to explain it, but I just felt like
That's a good point.
I feel like she looked taller. Maybe she was just like very confident, but
Hmm.
she looked like she was like a lot more taller.
Yeah. And it gave her shape too, and like
I
added
thought
some
so
fun
too.
stuff to
Yeah,
her because, you know, she's very thin. So,
she's very thin, and let's not forget
mhm.
her career was high heel boots, long sweatshirts, and a high ponytail. So
Yeah, exactly. All right. Who was your best dressed of the night?
my best dress is definitely Timothy Chalamet. I thought he
Okay.
just killed it. That color, that suit, the tailoring, the short jacket, all of the above. I loved it.
Yeah, I'll have to agree with you on that. I think a close second was Omar Apollo. I think he
Yes.
had so much fun with his look. And the accessories and everything. It was very fashion, definitely, modern, experimental. I thought it was a lot of fun, so I like
Yeah,
this.
definitely.
All right. Well, before we wrap up, do you have any final thoughts? Anything else you want to say about the night or anything like that?
Yeah, I just thought it was a great. I thought for after a lot of Oscars, I thought it was a good red carpet for the Oscars after a long, long
Hmm.
time. And just overall, I thought this award season was really good. And I'm sad that it's over, but I'm really excited because we have the Met coming up. So I'm really excited about
Yes. Yes, I agree. Hopefully, we get some good looks for the Met. I think the theme will be, or the theme is going to be super interesting to see, what
that.
everyone wears. So I think it'll be a really good one.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how everyone's going to have their spin on it. So
Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully, we see you back soon.
yes, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thanks, everyone.